Have you ever experienced this feeling? The clock strikes 11 p.m. You are sitting alone in the cabin of that sleek SUV you just bought on finance, parked right inside the garage of a white picket fence suburban home. The engine is off. The world around you is dead, silent. But inside your head, a violent storm is raging, packed with health insurance bills, student loans, and unread work emails from a young boss. You have everything this society defines as the American dream. But why is it, in this very moment of facing the darkness, that you feel so utterly empty and exhausted? Are you truly succeeding, or have you become a slave to your own success? More than 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the mighty Roman Empire, faced a chaos 10,000 times worse than yours. Yet, instead of losing his mind under the crushing weight of absolute power, deadly plagues, and political treachery, he chose to write a journal to himself, the Meditations. It was his ultimate tool to maintain a freezing cold mind and a serene heart. Today, we will dissect 3 unique mental frameworks of this philosopher king. We are not here to talk about lofty theories. We are going to talk about the raw, naked reality out there, and how you can apply these truths to rescue your own bleeding mind, starting today. Part 1. Do less. The naked truth behind the productivity trap of American society. The first method of Marcus Aurelius sounds almost like a joke to modern society. Do less. But please, do not misunderstand. Stoicism has never advocated for laziness, defeatism, or shunning labor. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote those legendary self-reminders about waking up in the morning to do the work of a human being, rather than staying curled up under warm blankets. The Stoics deeply valued hard work and viewed diligence as a fundamental virtue. So why would one of history's busiest emperors advise us to do less? Look at a normal day in your life. You wake up, and the very first thing you do is reach for your phone, scrolling through dozens of negative news notifications, staring at the artificial, perfect lives of others on social media, and poisoning your own heart with envy. You engage in trivial, pointless gossip filled with judgment and backstabbing. You waste precious energy arguing with a stranger on the internet about a topic that has absolutely zero relevance to your life. You are doing so much, yet you are creating nothing of value for your soul. The Stoic concept of doing less is not laziness. It is not throwing your hands up, lounging on a sofa, and abandoning your life. On the contrary, it is the pinnacle of wisdom and efficiency. Stoic philosophy values hard work intensely, but they marry it with the virtue of temperance. Doing less means having the raw courage to cut out the 80% of garbage, the futile tasks, and the toxic relationships, so you can channel 100% of your energy into the 20% that truly matters. You do less so that you can do better. When you eliminate superfluous actions, you simultaneously eliminate the superfluous assumptions in your head. You stop overanalyzing what a colleague's look meant. You stop worrying whether your neighbor thinks your car is too old. Here is a practical framework I learned from Marcus and have applied for the past 10 years. Every evening, before your head hits the pillow, take out a small piece of paper. Write down the exactly 3 most important things you must do tomorrow. Only 3. When you wake up in the morning, your mind will no longer spin in the chaos of dozens of choices. You know your target. You walk with the serenity of a master of time, not the panic of someone being hunted by it. Part 2. Brief retreats. Stop taking a trash-filled mind on luxury vacations. The second method of the Roman emperor strikes directly at a classic habit of the modern American, seeking brief retreats by journeying deep inward. Let us be honest with ourselves for a moment. When the pressures of work and life weigh so heavily on your shoulders that you can barely breathe, what is your first instinct? You open your laptop, swipe your credit card, and instantly book an expensive getaway to the beaches of Hawaii or a luxury resort in Europe. You tell yourself, I need to escape, I need a change of scenery, I need a quiet space to heal. And what happens next? You pack your bags, board the plane, and drag your exhausted body to a paradise island. But as you lie on that pristine white sand, watching the rustling ocean waves, what is actually happening inside your head? You are still obsessing over that unfinished project at the office. You are still sneakily opening your phone to check emails. Your stomach is still churning with anxiety. Your phone might lose its signal, but your mind never stops spinning. Marcus Aurelius called those who attempt to find peace by changing their physical surroundings, by traveling, heading to the mountains, or fleeing to the sea, utterly foolish. He wrote a line that, every time I read it, feels like a bucket of freezing water splashed straight onto my own naivety. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Why does traveling to de-stress so often fail? Because Stoic philosophy understands a fundamental truth. No matter where you go to the ends of the earth, you still have to bring yourself along. If your mind is a landfill overflowing with anxiety, fear, and envy, then whether you place that landfill in Paris or New York, it remains a foul-smelling landfill. Peace is not located at a geographic coordinate on a map. Peace is found in your state of awareness. Marcus Aurelius does not forbid us from getting a breath of fresh air, but he reminds us that instead of wasting thousands of dollars and weeks of time to temporarily flee reality, we must learn to take inner vacations instantly, on the spot, and entirely for free. This is the essence of Stoic meditation. When the world around you becomes too chaotic, when the phone rings relentlessly and everyone is screaming for you to solve their problems, learn to close off your senses for just 2 minutes. Retreat deep into your own soul, like a soldier withdrawing into an impregnable fortress. In that brief retreat, Marcus Aurelius advises you to contemplate ultimate truths. External things cannot touch your soul. They stand outside, indifferent and motionless. Suffering, anger, or panic do not come from the events themselves, but from the way you perceive and label them. A broken car does not make you suffer. The thought, "Why does all the bad luck happen to me?" is what makes you suffer. You do not need a business class ticket to find stillness. You only need a deep breath and the courage to look directly into your own consciousness. Part 3. Memento Mori is not pessimism, it is the ultimate weapon of serenity. The third method, and by far the most powerful, most terrifying weapon of Stoicism, Memento Mori. When hearing the phrase, "Remember you must die," most modern people, especially within an American culture that relentlessly idolizes youth and longevity, will instantly shudder and turn away. They dismiss it as a pessimistic, negative, perhaps even cursed mindset. This society goes to great lengths to sweep death under the rug. Modern hospitals are built to isolate the dying. Cosmetics and plastic surgeries are deployed to desperately claw back youth, and people speak of the future as if they will live forever. But when you delude yourself into thinking you have infinite time, you squander it on meaningless battles. You spend a lifetime accumulating wealth and clawing for status, only to realize you are protecting things you are guaranteed to leave behind. Marcus Aurelius stood at the absolute pinnacle of human power, yet he constantly reminded himself of the insignificance of human existence through what is known as the cosmic perspective. He wrote that if you look at the millions of years of Earth's history, a single human life, be it an emperor or a beggar, is nothing more than a tiny hiccup, a mere blink of an eye in the evolution of the cosmos. The trendiest fads of today, the mightiest empires, the wealthiest billionaires, all will eventually be erased by the dust of time. This cosmic impermanence, flux, can be a source of absolute panic, if you are a greedy soul desperately trying to cling to everything. But for a practicing Stoic, impermanence is the ultimate key to freedom and inner peace. Ponder this: if everything is temporary, then your darkest days will also pass. The crushing debt suffocating you today, the toxic criticism from your boss, the betrayal of a trusted friend, all of them are nothing more than tiny ripples on the vast ocean of time. They do not last forever. Why, then, must you sacrifice your entire life to suffer and torment yourself over them? Conversely, impermanence serves as a powerful reminder that your beautiful days, your roaring successes, and the loved ones standing by your side right now will not stay forever either. Internalizing this frees you from attachment. You no longer possess arrogance when standing on the summit, and most importantly, you learn to fiercely cherish every single moment of the present. You will hold your child a little tighter, knowing that tomorrow they will grow up and venture away. You will savor your morning coffee more deeply, because you know that simply being alive to taste it is a miracle in itself. As Marcus Aurelius beautifully captured, the infinity of past and future gapes before us a fathomless gulf where we cannot see the bottom. Only a fool, then, would puff himself up with pride or torment himself with anger and grief over the trivial things playing out around him. Tonight, when you step out of that car and walk into your home, those bills and work pressures out there will not magically disappear. Stoicism is not a magic wand that alters the external world. It is a torch that illuminates your inner landscape. You are no longer a helpless victim to be battered by fate. You are a warrior. You move forward with an entirely new mindset, possessing the courage to ruthlessly cut away the superfluous, knowing how to turn inward to find absolute stillness, and wielding impermanence as a weapon to smile in the face of any chaotic turn. You cannot control what this universe throws at you, but you hold absolute power over how you choose to respond. Turn off your phone, look in the mirror, take one deep breath, and tell yourself, "This too shall pass. I stand firm." Thank you for walking with me on the Stoic path.